Hello, Steve White, Steve White 89. Well, I just watched Superman and Lois, Season 3, Episode 11, Injustice, and it was good. I didn't quite know what to think of this Lex Luthor. Now, the episode had been spoiled by a troll in my comment section who said that the rest of the season and next season is all about Lex Luthor. So, okay, great. So, basically we see how he's lived in prison the last, I think, 17 years he's been in jail. He's basically been living like a king. He bought the warden, and basically he's been running it like his own warped little kingdom. So he gets released, and he just walks out the front door. And I'm like, God, is he just going to walk straight to Lois's place and just, have a go at her? That's exactly what he did. Yeah, I'll just get straight to that. Basically, towards the end of the episode, there's a scene where Lois and Clark are sitting in their living room talking about what are we going to do about Lex. He's obviously, he's just going to show up. And I half expect him to just appear in the window behind them because there's this really open window between them in the shot. And then Clark hears his steps from further down the street, and he's like, he's here. And then they go out the front, and he just walks straight up into the veranda and starts screaming at Lois because he was innocent. She put him in jail, and she's like, what do you want me to do, apologise? She apologised. She said, I'm sorry, I was wrong. And he said, do you think your words change anything? I don't want to see your words anymore. I don't hear your words anymore. So he basically told her, you're going to quit journalism or I'm going to destroy you. And she's like, yeah, no. And Clark's like, you need to leave. So that was pretty much his arc for the episode. Now, I don't recognise this Lex Luthor. He doesn't resemble any Lex Luthor I was familiar with. Lex Luthor was a businessman. He was intelligent. He was sophisticated. He was well educated. This guy just looks like a thug, and he just looks like a neo-Yahtzee thug from certain shows about motorcycles and that. It looks like he's from like a gang or something. And yeah, I just didn't recognise him. I don't know, I guess he was established in the Supergirl show. I never saw him. As far as I know, he hasn't been in this show, and he hasn't appeared except for in this episode, I think. So that's his story. Now, to the kids. The one without powers, I can never remember the names, I think it's Jonathan. He was upset because Kyle was looking at him like, or puppy dog, like, you're Superman's son. He's giving him special treatment. He forgot somebody's sandwich, and this very aggressive fireman was like not happy and telling him to go back and get it. And he's like, you're not making him do that. Stop it. And he actually sent that guy home. And I'm like, yeah, that's not good. So he had mentioned that to Clark. And of course Clark went and told him, please don't give my son special treatment. It's really, he doesn't want that. Because I've got one son wanting special treatment and the other one not wanting special treatment. And he says, okay. And then when he talks to Jonathan, he's like, yeah, you went and told on me to your dad. And he's like, no, he just put two and two together and I didn't know he was coming. That wasn't how it said. And he said, well, how about we just keep things in-house? He's like, okay. So, I don't know, maybe he's got that sort, I don't know. But the other one, of course, just wants attention. He was bragging about, whoever this superhero was who saved Sarah and Junior. He must be like, a hero. So we have a tornado hit the town, and the way it was filmed was really good because it's something that we don't experience here in Australia. We sort of have cyclones right up the other end of Australia, but I've never sort of been in that sort of situation. So the way they filmed it in the town, the jeopardy the whole town was in was really well done. Superman flies into the tornado to take it apart. Now Junior basically, I think, saved his grandfather's car or something, and then because they grounded him basically from him bragging and that, because Sarah told Lana told the Kents. They basically said, look, until you can handle this, you're not doing this anymore. But they took his uniform away. But the uniform was in the grandfather's car. He got it back, flew up into the tornado, and Clark's like, I don't need your help. And he's like, yeah, I'm doing it anyway. So they both destroyed, took apart, broke up the tornado, however you want to put that. And then he lands right near all the people that grandfather Lane was, or Daddy Lane, as I call him, has gotten all these people like hiding under the underpass. He just lands right in front of them. They all run up to him like, "Oh my God, thank you for saving us!" And they're taking selfies, and he's smiling and taking selfies. I'm like, "Whoa!" Of course, Lois and Clark will lose it because it's like, after everything we told you, after everything, you don't get it. And he said, "Maybe I just didn't care." Like, 'cause he's just a little immature, hideous, tedious little teenager, and yeah, he just basically is like, "I don't care." And of course, there was a confrontation between Clark and him, and he actually pushed back against Clark. Like, literally, there was a moment where I don't know if he shoved him or he tried to stop him, and he just pushed against it. And he's like, "Don't ever do that again. Go to your room." And he did the whole "while you're under my roof" speech. And I thought, you know what? He's super. He doesn't need your roof. He can go sleep in a cave. The elements are not going to get to him. And I thought he was actually going to fully rebel, but he went back up to his room. And there was already an article that one of Lois's friends had published in the Daily Planet. So he was sort of being exposed, and then he just made it worse. And yeah, so that's their arc for the episode. Now, what else was there in this episode? Was there anything else? Oh, of course, the ending. Bizarro Clark is eating rats down underneath Mannheim's building after it all collapsed. And after Lex threatens Lois, his little sidekick, I've forgotten his name, showed up, and they went down there and they put a torch on Clark. He's literally eating rats, Bizarro Supeman. And the guy's like, "How do we handle this?" And I'm like, "With great care, very carefully," or something. And I was talking back to the thing, and before I knew it, I guess he ate the sidekick. I think he's dead. What we heard sounds like he was eating him. And so I'm like, how is Lex going to stop him from just eating him next? Like, how this guy doesn't know or understand or care who Lex is or what his position is or power is or anything. So I was thinking, this power he has is an illusion. Just because people give it to him is the only reason why he's got power. It's not real. So what does Bizarro Superman care? So how is he going to, like, I don't know how he's going to control him, how he's going to stop him from just killing him. So, but that was the end of the episode. I think that was everyone's story. Looking at my notes, I'm like, yeah, that's everything. Yeah, so the only other news, of course, is that they're actually getting a 4th season. It was up in the air for a long time, probably because it looks like there were a lot of negotiations, because they've cut the season down from 15 episodes to 10. They've cut the cast in half. They've gotten rid of half the regulars, and I'm guessing they'll have smaller roles or maybe just cameos in a couple of episodes, or guest stars in a couple of episodes. I'm sure they will see them again. But Lana and Kyle are gone. Daddy Kent is gone. I'm wondering if the boys are even going to be in it. I mean, how are they going to do the scenes at the firehouse without Kyle, unless maybe they just get one little farewell or something? I don't know. But I guess we're lucky we're getting another season and we're getting a conclusion. But yeah, we're getting, obviously, I'm guessing they basically cancelled the show, and they said, yeah, you can't do that. We need this show. We need to finish off the season, the show, everything, the series. And they sort of said, we'll come back to us with a smaller budget, and they basically cut the episodes down and cut out half the cast. And maybe they're just told, look, if we're going to continue with the show next year, you have to, save money. And that's how they did it. I'm not sure if it was the network saying you only get 10 episodes and, cut your budget, or if they said this is all we've got money-wise, make it fit somehow. So I'm not sure how it went down. I'm not seeing any reports of who made what decision. But yeah, I'm kind of shocked to see that I haven't really heard of that happening before. When I've heard of shows having their budgets cut, having their episode numbers cut, but getting rid of half the cast, that's kind of brutal. But that's where we're at. So we're getting a 10th season, 10 episodes, 4th season, 10 episodes, and we're getting half the cast. And apparently the whole season's about Lex Luthor, because basically, I think I mentioned one of my trolls in the comments spoiled that for me. And one last thing also, just if you're using Stan in Australia, I don't know if you're having the same experiences as me, but when I tried to view this, all it did was just get to 63% downloading, then just sit there spinning on 63 for about 10-20 minutes. I gave up. I went to another site where I can watch the show, got about halfway through the episode, I did a little video where I was like, okay, this is the streaming service I'm paying for, and it's spinning on 63%, and this is one of the other sites which I can watch it on, which I'm watching it on, and it was actually running. I'm like, I can't do that because it's, I actually showed part of the episode. But that's what I ended up doing, and then it got about halfway through the episode, and then it died, so there was something wrong with the file. So I had to go back, and actually did eventually upload and go all the way through and actually start playing. So I watched the second half of the episode on the service I'm actually paying for. But so I'm paying for a streaming service to watch this on, but it's as unreliable as, the other ones that you can watch them on. So not the great viewing experience, but a good episode overall. And I'm glad we're getting another season. I'm kind of shocked at this version of Lex Luthor, and I'm curious how they're gonna run with that over the next season, what he's going to be like and what he's going to be like to take on. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.